Good afternoon, all of you. I am Madhuri Kakade. Your semester 3 has already started. This semester 3, I'll be teaching you finance specialization subject. The subject name is International Finance. We'll move to the next slide. So next part is syllabus of this subject. Semester 3, the subject code is 305 Finance. The subject name is International Finance. This subject have 3 credits and 100 marks. These 100 marks are divided into two parts. So first part is CC 50 marks. CC means comprehensive concurrent evaluation, like your assignments, your term and paper, your online examination, etc. And remaining 50 marks is EAC. EAC means end semester examination, like your SPPO examination. Then LTPA. L means lecture, T means tutorial, P means practical. So 2 is to 1 is to 1. Subject core course, the international finance. The next part is course outcomes. So course outcome means on successful completion of the course, the learner will be able to understand this concept. So first course outcome is enumerate the key terms associated with international finance. Then second course outcome is summarize the concept related to regulators, financial market, financial instruments, tax structure at international level. Then third course outcome is illustrate the role of international monetary system and intermediary in global financial market. Then fourth course outcome is the inspect the various parameter of global financial market and interrupt the best possible international investment opportunity. Then fifth course outcome is determine the various strategies to start invest or business at the international level by considering various factors of international finance. And last one course outcome is the formulate the investment plan or business plans by adopting international finance environment. These are the course outcome of this subject. We will move to the next part. So next part is units of the financial international finance. This subject have the 5 units. So first unit is the international introduction to international finance. Then second unit is introduction to foreign exchange market. Third, the transaction on the international foreign exchange market. Fourth unit is taxation system and legal aspect. And last one, fifth unit is international receivable and cash management. So first unit is introduction to international finance. We will learn it in this unit. The introduction of international finance, including functioning of the global financial system in the globalization process, evaluation of international monetary system, etc. Then, for example, of the gold standard system, Bretton Woods system, etc. International financial institutions like International Monetary Fund, World Bank, etc. International credit rate, agency, and balance of the payment. These concepts are we will learn in unit first. Then unit second. So unit second name is Introduction to Foreign Exchange Market. In this unit, we will learn the overview of foreign exchange market, theories of interest rate party, then purchasing power party, and Fisher's party. Foreign exchange rates through various approaches, then concept or type of currency, including convertibility, like nature, then types and remaining the exchange rate, including demand and supply of foreign currency. The third unit, the transaction on the international foreign exchange market. In this unit, we will learn the transaction in the international foreign exchange market like spot transaction, forward contracts, then currency swap, then currency future, then currency option, including the transaction exposure forward hedge, then money market hedge, the international credit market, and international security market, which includes bonds and equity and depository receipts. Then fourth unit is the taxation system and the legal aspect. In this unit, we will learn deal with the international double taxation and the way of this regulation of including tax evasion and the definition, organization, dealing with money laundering, including establishment of legal framework and the function of activity of the FAC. Then last one, fifth unit is the international receivable and cash management. In this unit, we will learn the international receivable and cash management under the foreign exchange risk, international financial report standard like IFRS, and Indian accounting standard IAS on foreign transaction and foreign exchange rate trade settlement of India through SWIFT, CHIP, and CHAPS. These are the overview of this subject. We will move to the next part. So let's start the unit first. Unit first name is Introduction to International Finance. In this unit, first we will learn the learning objective of this unit. This unit have two learning objectives. So first learning objective is Introduction to International Finance. In this point, we will learn meaning, importance, scope of international finance, then globalization of the world economy, goal of international finance, then structure and participant of global financial system, then functioning of global financial system in the globalization process, and last one is the emerging challenges in international finance. Then evaluation of international monetary system like gold standard system, Bretton Woods system, current exchange rate arrangement, and issue involve overseeing the funding choices. Then second objective is the international financial institution. In this institution, we will learn the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, International Credit Rating Agency, then balance of payment under the component, collection, reporting, surplus, and shortage. These are the learning objective of this unit. We will move to the next part. So next part is the introduction of international finance. International finance is an important part of financial economics. It mainly discusses the issue related with monetary interaction of at least two or more countries. The international finance is concerned with the subjects such as exchange rate of currency, monetary system of the world, then foreign direct investment, and other important issues associated with international financial management. Then meaning of international finance. Like international trade and business, the international finance exists due to the fact that economic activity of business, government, and organization get affected by the existence of nation. It is a known fact the countries often borrow and lend for each other. In such trade, many countries use their own currency. Therefore, we must understand how the currency compare with each other. Moreover, we should also have a good understanding of how these goods are paid for and what is the determining factor of the price and the currency trade at. Then, in this diagram, I have already explained it the definition of international finance. This definition have divided into three parts. So first part is it is important while the determining the exchange rate of the current country. Then second part is the transaction between countries can be a significant in assessing the economic condition of the other country. And last one part is it play a crucial role in investing the foreign debt security to have a clear idea about the market. Four facts to understand the concept of financial management in India. So, first is foreign exchange, then political risk, market imperfection, and last one is enhance the opportunity set. This is all about of the introduction and definition of international finance. We will move to the next part. So next part is scope of international financial management. The main objective of international financial management is to arrange the sufficient fund for meeting the short-term and long-term goal of an organization. A financial manager has the concentrate on the following area of international finance functions. The first function of international financial management is estimating financial requirements. In this part, the financial responsibility of the international finance manager is to estimate the short and long term financial requirement of the business. To determine this, the financial finance manager has to prepare first financial plan for the present as well as future based on the past financial of the business. This includes estimating the amount required to purchase in fixed asset as well as the working capital. Then second function of international financial management is deciding capital structure. The capital structure refers the kind and proportion of different security for raising the required funds after deciding about amount of funds required. It's time to decide which type of security should be raised. It may be wise the finance the fixed asset via long-term debt and current asset via short-term debts. Then third function of international financial management is the selecting a source of finance. After preparing the capital structure, the appropriate source of finance need to be determined. Then various sources from which finance can be raised can include like share capital, then debenture, financial institution, commercial banks, then public deposit or equity, etc. If finance is required for short term, then a bank, then public deposit and financial institution are appropriate. On the other hand, if finance is required for long term, share capital and debenture might be useful. There are various scopes of international financial management. So, first scope of international financial management is foreign exchange market. Then, second, exchange rate determination. Third scope is the exchange rate risk and its management. Then, fourth scope, the investment decision of multinational enterprise. Then, fifth, the international working capital decision. Then, next, the financing decision of multinational enterprise. Then, seventh scope of international financial management is international accounting and control decisions. And last one, the scope of international finance is international loans. These are the all about of the scope of international financial management. We will move to the next part. So next part is importance of international financial management. There are various importance of Indian international financial management. So international finance play a crucial role in international trade and inter-economic exchange of goods and services. It's important for a number of reasons. The most notable ones are listed here. So, first importance of international finance is an important tool to find the exchange rate, then compare inflation rate, then get an idea about investing in international debt security, ascertaining the economic status of other country, and judge the foreign market. Then, second important of international finance is the exchange rate are very important in international finance as they let us determine the relative various countries. International finance helps in calculating these rates. The third important is the various economic factors help in making international investment decisions. Economic factor of economic health in determine whether or not investor money is safe with foreign debt security. Then utilizing IFRS, I means international, F means financial, R means reporting, S means standard. Like international financial reporting standard is an important factor of many stage of international finance. Financial system made by the countries that have adopting the international financial reporting standard are similar. It helps many countries to follow similar reporting system. International financial reporting standard system, which is a part of international finance, also help in saving money by following the rules of reporting on a single accounting standard. Internet the next importance of international finance is the international finance has grown in stature due to globalization. It helps understand the basic of all international organization and keeps the balance intact among them. In international financial system, maintain the peace among at the nation. Without a solid finance measure, all nation would work for their self-interest. International finance help in keeping that the issue at bay. Then last one, the importance of international finance is international finance organization such as IMF and the World Bank, etc. provide a mediator's role in managing international disputes. The very existence of international financial system means there are possibilities of international financial crisis. This this is this is where the study of international finance become very important. To know about the international financial crisis, we have to understand the nature and international financial system. This is all about of the importance of international financial management. We will move to the next part. So next part is a globalization of the world economy. First we will learn meaning and after that the definition of globalization. International Monetary Fund defines the globalization as the growing independence of the country worldwide through the increasing volume and variety of cross-border transaction in goods and services and of financial capital flows, also through the more rapid and widespread diffusion of technology. Then Charlie's definition of globalization, the shift toward a more integrated and independent world economy. Globalization has two main components, the globalization of market and globalization of production. Independence of the integrity in individual country of the world may be is called as the globalization. Thus, globalization integrates not only economic but also societies. There are various features of globalization. So first feature is opening and planning the expand business throughout the world. Then second feature is erasing the difference between domestic market and foreign market. The third feature of globalization is buying and selling goods and services from to any country in the world. Then fourth feature of globalization is establishing manufacturing and distribution facility in any part of world based on the feasibility and ability rather than international consideration. Then fifth feature of globalization is the product planning and development are based on market consideration of the entire world. And last one, the features of globalization is the sourcing of factors of production and input like raw material, machinery, finance, technology, human resource, then management skill for the entire global. The next feature of globalization is global orientation in strategy, organization structure, then organization culture, and the managerial expertise. The last one, the feature of globalization is the setting the mind and attitude to view the entire global as the single market. These are the all about features of the globalization. Next, we will learn the globalization process. In this process, there are five stages. So, first stage is domestic company export to foreign currency through the dealers or distributors on the home country. Then second stage of international globalization finance, the domestic company export to foreign country directly on its own. In the third stage of domestic company become an international company by establishing production and marketing operation in various key foreign currency countries. Then fourth stage of the globalization process is the company reflected a foreign company in foreign country by handling all the facilities including research and development, full-fledged human resource, etc. And last one, the fifth globalization process or stage, the company become a true foreign company by serving the needs of foreign customers just like host country and company services. Thus, globalization means the globalizing the marketing, production, investment, technology, and other activities. This is the all about of the globalization stages like process. We will move to the next part. So next part is goals of international finance. There are various goals of international finance. So first goal is to achieve higher rate of profits. International compare the search for foreign markets that hold promise for higher rate of profits. Thus, the objective of profit effect and the motives the business to expand its operations to foreign countries. Then second goal of international finance is expansion of production capacities. Some of the domestic companies expanded their production capacity more than the demand of the product in domestic countries. This company in such the cases are forced to sell their excess production in foreign developed the country like Toyota of Japan is an example of expansion of production capacity. The third goal of international finance is sever the competition in the home country. The weak companies which could not meet the competition of the strong company in the domestic countries started entering the market for the developing countries. Then fifth goal is limited home market. Okay, so limited home market under when the size of home market is limited due to the similar size of the population or due to lower purchasing power of the people or both, the company internationalize their operators. Like for example, most of the Japanese automobile and electronic firms enter the US, European, and even African markets due to the smaller size of home market. Then ITC they enter the European market due to the lower purchasing power of Indian with regards the high quality cigarettes. Similarly, the 6 million population of Switzerland in the region of Cabagine to internationalize these operations, in fact, of the company was forced in concentrate on the global market and establish manufacturing facility in foreign country. We will move to the next goals of international finance. So fifth goal is political stability versus political instability. Political stability does not simply means that the continuation of the same party in power, but it does not mean the continuation of the same policy of the government for a quite a longer period. It is viewed that the USA is a politically stable country. Similarly, UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan are also politically stable countries. International company prefers to enter the political stable the countries and are the retentions for the locating the business operations in politically unstable country. In fact, the business company shift their operations from the politically unstable country to the politically stable country. Then sixth goal is availability of the technology and skilled human resource. Availability of advanced technology and competent human resource in same countries act as pulling factor in international companies. The developed country due to this reason attract company from the developing world America and European companies depended on Indian company for software products and services through their BPOs. The cost of professional in India is 10 to 15 times less compared to US and European markets. This factor helps in Indian software industry to grow at the faster rate with the world class standards. Added to this, the satellite communication help in Indian company to serve the global business without going globally. The next goal of international finance is the high cost of transportation. A major factor in lower profit margin to international company is the cost of transportation of the product. Under such condition, the foreign company are inclined to increase their profit margin by locating their manufacturing facility in foreign countries where there is enough the demand either in one country or group of neighborhood countries. For example, uh, Kenya, then Sudan, and Japanese. These are the example of neighborhood countries. Then the next goal is nearness to raw material. The source of high qualitative the raw material and bulk raw material is a major factor of attracting the companies from the various foreign countries. Most of the US based and European based company located their manufacturing facility in Saudi Arabia, Iran, etc. due the availability of the petroleum. Then the next goal is availability of quality human resource. This is a major factor of software, high technology and telecommunication company to locate their operation in India. India is the source of high quality and low cost human resources. Then the next goal is the liberalization and globalization. In this part, the most of the country in world the liberalize their economic and open the countries in rest of the world. Then last one goal of international finance is increase market shares. In this part, the some of the large-scale international companies like to enhance their market share in the world market by expanding and intensify the operations of various foreign countries. For example, Bale Corporation and the third largest beverage can manufacturer in the USA. Then bought the European packaging operation of conditional can company. Then it expanded the operations of European and the mid-European demands, which is the 200% more than the USA. Thus, it the increase in global market share and soft drink can. These are the various goals of international finance. We will move to the next part. So, next and last one part is the emerging challenges in international finance. There are 21 challenges of international finance. In this session, we will complete the 10 challenges of international finance. The players in international business who are multinational companies are beset the number of difficulties and roadblocks. These challenges have hampered the international company business considerably. The following, the following are the important challenges in international finance. So first is worried economic system. So worried economic system under the economic system refer to kind of governance of a country. It may be on the basis of principle of communism, then capitalism, socialism, and mixed economy rules and ideologies. The international company have the negative way the country specific economic system. American companies are looked the spectations by the Japanese, then European and Gulf countries and vice versa. The economic system issue not the possible and address, but MNC may harness their economic gain. Then second challenges of international finance is tariff and non-tariff trade barriers. In these challenges, the progress of world trade independent on free trade policy. Many countries destroyed the free trades among themselves, and this trade restriction is called as trade barrier. The opposite of free trade is the trade barriers. These barriers have two kinds. So first is tariff and second is non-tariff. By imposing the high tariff, a kind of duty or custom imposed the import or exports. The high tariff rates and foreign trades is stalled. The other reason and the restraint the imports is rejecting the goods for the reason of environmental safety, health hazard, then labor standard, then subsidy and so on. This called the protectionism or the non-tariff barriers. World Trade Organization provide more powerful organization with 159 member countries. Its member at the end of 31st March 2014 to solve the dispute the over trade among the member countries. Then third challenges of international finance is political risk. Then the instability in governs by the political system in different country is a major setbacks of international companies. The dracons, the rules and policies of some countries, the restrict the market access. The next and fourth challenges of international finance is environmental safeguard. One of the major challenges today in the world is global warming. The carbon dioxide is emissions by the different country and the greenhouse effect there the result on dep- depletion of ozone layer. The readiness of use of the natural sources is the road causes the environmental delay. The international trade and environmental protection should go hand in hand in interest of the future generation. This is the all about of the environmental safeguard. The next challenges is dumping. So dumping under it refers to selling a product at the high price in the home currency and relatively at the low price in host country by international company. The practices ruins the industries and the employment opportunity in the host countries, especially micro and small scale industries. For example, the Chinese goods sold in Diwali and Holi and other festivals are sold is very low prices in India. The next challenges of international finance is the cultural difference. Every country has unique culture, the heritage that shape values and influence the conduct of business. Even within the geographic region that are the considered relatively homogeneous, different cultures are privileging. International companies have the cope with this difference and adopt the culture and subculture of the countries where they operate. In MNC, like multinational company, find the matters such as defining the appropriate goals of company, then attitude toward disk, then dealing with employees, and the ability to critical and the profitable operation very dramatically from one country to the next. The next challenges is the language difference. So language difference and the ability to communicate is crucially in all business, including international transaction. In India and US citizens are often as the disadvantage because they are generally fluent in English, while European and German peoples are usually the fluent in several languages including like English. The next challenges is intellectual property rights. The treaty of the intellectual properties are patents for inventions, trademark for the brand name, image, etc., and copyright of the author, musician, the lyrics, filmmaker, etc. The invention of the new things, the required world-class research and development set up by foreign firms. The problem of privacy in hunting the several leading the company and brands. India, after the great fight of USA, has registered in patient operation of protection the basmati rice like turmeric and tomatoes, etc. In case of pharma product, the larger number of patient is happening around the world, especially life-saving drugs. This is the vital issue in international finance and business. Then the second last challenges of international finance is cyber crimes. Cyber crimes is the crime committed with the use of computer and internet. Today, all around the world, e-commerce and e-business, e-governance are flourishing. The flip side of e-commerce is cybercrime, the standing, the international finance. The privacy is incorrupted, the money in some other accounts with withdrawn, the manipulate and transferred. The cybercrimes, if unable to pose the great danger to the world business. The WTO has asked all the members and countries to have the place proper and comprehensive cyber law in place of check of automobiles carbon crimes. We in India have the first cyber laws, the Stately Information Technology Act like 2000. Then the next challenges of international finance is the transfer pricing. So transfer pricing in any international business, there are normally a large number of transfer of goods, services, technology and other resources between the parent company and foreign subsidies. The price at which the goods, services and other are transferred between the affiliates within the company is called the transfer price. Transfer price also affect the international company ability to monitor the performance in individual corporate subsidy. Reward or punish the manager responsible for their performance. Further, the transfer price affect the taxes and international company pay both the home country and to various host country in which it operates. The transfer price is also used to avoid exchange control in increase the international company share or profit from joint venture to distinguish the affiliated through profitability. Nevertheless, there are problems associated with transfer pricing. Many governments do not like transfer pricing strategy. When transfer prices are the used to reduce infirm's tax liability or import duty, most of the governments feels they are being the cheated and elegant the income. The several government limit the ability of an international business to manipulate the transfer prices. These are the various challenges of international finance. Today we have learned it the first to 10 challenges of international finance. So first, worried economic system, then second, tariff and non-tariff trade barriers, third, political risk, fourth, environmental safeguards, fifth, the dumping, then sixth, cultural difference, then seventh, the language differences, eighth, intellectual property rights, then second last is cyber crime, then last one is the transfer pricing. Then remaining 11 points of challenges international finance I'll be cover in next session.